My name is Logan Bruder, and I'll be discussing Case 47. By the way, we've been hacked. I'll be using the Potter Box method to do this. So first off, the situation. There is a company called Equifax that has been hacked, and about 400 or 143 million consumers that use Equifax, their personal information could have been leaked to certain hackers for whatever reason. We don't know why the hackers want their personal information for hacking, I guess. But that's the situation. And Equifax kept it a secret for a couple of months, so people's personal information could have been taken at any point during those couple of months where they kept it a secret. And that's obviously a problem. You can't keep that away from people because you don't want people's personal information being taken away because of your company. And they didn't report it for a while, so people got their stuff hacked. In terms of values, I would say just telling the truth. Telling the truth. As soon as you found out you were breached, you should have said something. Or if you knew who was breached, you should have told them, let them know, instead of trying to hide it from people, which led to more hacking into these people, finding out people's personal information, their debit card numbers, their addresses, social security numbers. All this stuff was being hacked into, and no one knew about it except for the company themselves. In terms of principles, I think Kant's categorical imperative is really good for this because essentially his principle is to tell the truth even if it hurts somebody. Even if you will hurt some people with the truth, you should still tell it because, especially in this case, because you don't want people getting hacked and then their information getting revealed and then their life becomes 3 times harder because of your company that breached their information. Makes your company look bad if you don't report it or don't tell the truth immediately, which is what happened. They got into legal trouble for it for obvious reasons. The second principle is Judeo-Christians love your neighbor as you love yourself. And this one takes a little more explaining because for the company, they thought it was a good idea to hide it because they didn't want panic to ensue in their consumers, and they would lose all their business. And that makes sense. But also, if you were one of the consumers, you don't want your data being breached without you knowing, or you don't want, you want to know what's going on, because it's important. If you give someone your personal information, you're entrusting that company that they'll keep it safe. And when you break that contract, you should let them know immediately that, hey, your stuff could be breached. It's possible. We have been breached, and because they didn't do that, they got in trouble. So I think they should put themselves in the perspective of a consumer. That if I were a consumer, would I want to know this information? That's the love your neighbor as you love yourself. Just you got to think about those things. Put yourself in the shoes of the consumer, and absolutely you'd want to know. Absolutely. So they should have done it immediately. In terms of loyalties, I think it's pretty obvious. Loyalties go to the consumers, the people who, the consumers of Equifax who are using their website and entrusting them with this personal information, and they aren't telling the truth. And it can be hard to report something like that, and I don't blame them for not doing it. But they should have reported it immediately because, first off, they wouldn't have been in such legal trouble. And yeah, thanks for listening.